Hi guys, what's up? Welcome. It is Flawless Rebelliana here, and I am happy to see you guys. It has been a minute. I'm going to be bringing a video today to you guys that is super important to me.
Oh, look at this. We got some stuff showing there.
So yeah, like I said, this video was very important for me, and if you guys are watching the video, I do hope that you watch this video to the end. Listen to everything I have to say, because this video is super important. It's super important to the channel and super important to my career and my future and where I go from here. And if you are new here, my name is Flawless Rebelliana. Welcome. And if you like drag, if you like makeup, beauty, hit that subscribe button and give this a like. I do post videos every single Wednesday. I have been struggling, shall I say, ever since I think it was in December when I made my coming out video here on YouTube, and I had told everyone that I was gender fluid, and I also had said that I was bisexual. I had told people that, and I think that was just like the very first things that came to my mind, and the very first time me coming to my identity and like knowing who I am and all of that kind of stuff. A little bit, like maybe I would say a couple weeks after that, or a month after, I started getting like these feelings that I truly just didn't know who I was. There is more to who I am as a person. There is more to me, and I need to find that out. I didn't even really know a name for it. So what I did was I educated myself, and I think it's amazing to educate yourself. Even if you're not a person of the LGBTQ community, educating yourself is super important about the world around you, and it also helps you feel for other people and what they are going through and how they are feeling too. So I think it's really super important to educate yourself on the LGBTQ community, and maybe even the history. I got a book. The book is called The ABCs of LGBTQ+ by Ashley Mardell, who is a YouTuber here on YouTube. I'm on the road to finding who I am. And I have such a bigger grasp of who I am, and when I explain who I am, which I'm going to do in this video, I can say it with a lot of detail. I can do it with a lot of depth, and that's going to help, because I feel like my coming out video was a step towards it, but it wasn't truly what I needed to say. So I think like this video is going to give so much more in depth, and it's going to tell people a lot more about me, and just tell you more about how I'm feeling in my head and all of that type of stuff. In the book, it tells you all these different identities and tells you about all these different things. But I was struggling to find my identity. Well, at least I knew my identity as gender fluid, but I thought there was always more to that, and I've realized that you can be gender fluid, but there can be more to that than just gender fluid. What I want to do with you guys is I want to share my spectrum with you guys, because when I was in the book, they were talking about spectrums, and I learned about spectrums that, look at
That light shining down on me, like Jesus shining his light down on me. He's saying, this golden child, this golden rebel.
What a spectrum is, for those of you who don't know what a spectrum is, basically a way of explaining your identity or your gender identity. And a lot of people do this in so many different ways. It depends on the person. Some people do Venn diagrams, some people do bar graphs, some people do like lines, some people draw pictures. Kind of like journal entry, basically, is how I wanted to do my spectrum. And I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to read this out to you. And as I'm reading it out to you, I'm going to go in depth. So for things that I think people might be new to, or things that some people may not know exactly what it means, I'm going to explain exactly what that is for you. When it comes to my gender identity, now for those of you, I'm going to explain what gender identity means, because it can be a mouthful. Gender identity is basically how I feel inside. If I feel like I'm female, or if I feel like a male, and that is my gender. So you have your gender at birth, what you are born as, male or female, but what you feel you are on the inside, that would be gender identity. When it comes to my gender identity, I do feel like I am a female sometimes, but that isn't quite often. I almost half of the time feel like I am a male, but almost always I feel like I am either not a gender or something that is, at this moment, I cannot name. Like, I am either not a gender or something else. Then sometimes I am just me, neither a male or female. So sometimes I feel like I am just me. I don't need to be labeled inside with being a male or female or anything else. I am just me. Now we're going to talk about gender expression and my gender expression. For those of you who don't know what gender expression is, basically gender expression is how you express your gender. So not if you feel like you're a woman or if you feel like you're a man, but or if you feel like you're another gender, but basically how you express that. So, for example, say men's clothes or female clothes, or those types of things. How you express those genders. That's what we're going to talk about now. As for gender expression, I am almost always feeling very feminine. So as for those of you who doesn't know what that means, it basically means I feel a lot of the time that I like to wear more feminine clothing. I like to wear more feminine stuff. I like to do more feminine things and wear makeup and all of that kind of stuff. But as for me, I don't really feel like makeup is part of the feminine thing. I think that anybody can do that. So I do sometimes feel masculine, and like to wear men's stuff and all of that kind of stuff, but hardly ever. The same amount or more, I do feel androgynous, which is a combination of masculinity and femininity traits. So basically, for those of you who don't know what that means, is androgynous is a feeling, or it is an identity, basically. And if y'all are familiar with Jeffree Star, it's basically like that, where there is masculine traits, but at the same time there are feminine traits. So there's both male and female feelings and gender expression in that one particular time. So that is what androgynous is. I almost always feel androgynous. I was born a male at birth. Okay, now the next part, we're going to talk about physical attraction. This is physical attraction to the body, and not emotional. So we're talking about physical attraction. When it comes to being physically attracted to females, I hardly ever am, because I am not attracted to the female bodies. Now, when I say that, girls, don't you hate on me. This is who I am. This is how I feel. I am not attracted to, I'm hardly ever attracted to a female body without clothing. That's just how I feel, and that's just how I am. I think women have beautiful bodies, and no body shame. They're beautiful. I'm just not physically attracted to that. Very, very rarely, there are times I am physically attracted to a female. As for being physically attracted to men, I am almost always attracted to men. As for other genders, being, those of you who don't know what I mean by other genders, that basically means non-binary, people with non-genders, transgender, all those different types of other genders. I would truly have to get to know them, but very rarely I can be physically attracted to them. So there is a part of me that can be physically attracted to them, but I would have to get to know them a little bit better. Now we are going to talk about emotional attraction with me. So being emotionally attracted to women is almost all the time. I can almost always be attracted to a woman emotionally. Men, I am emotionally attracted to just a little bit more than women, but it's almost the same. As for other genders, just a little bit less than women, just because I think it's the reason of me wanting to get to know them first. So that's my spectrum, guys. That is more in depth of who I am, and it tells you a lot more about me. Guys, I have been going through a real rough time, And I truly want to let y'all know that. It's hard. It really, truly is. And I want to let you know that it's not easy at all. It really, truly isn't easy. If any of you think it is easy to live the life I do, then you gotta be kidding yourself. And I'm not trying to feel, I'm not trying to get pity or any of that stuff, because that's not what I'm looking for. What I want is, I want people to be connected to my story, and I want people to be able to find inspiration to, come out and tell their own stories and all of that stuff. I'm going through this process. It's very hard for me too, even though I'm coming to terms with who I am. But I thank you guys so much for watching this video, and it means so much for me for you guys to watch this whole video. Like, it means a lot. Like, it's been a roller coaster ride, and I mean, I've been going through a lot. And I've constantly been trying to be as active as possible, and been trying to create new content for you guys. I know that my lip syncs on Instagram aren't going as planned, but that's because it's just been really hard for me to keep up with things sometimes. But I'm going to, try my best. I do love you guys, and I love you for your constant support. It means the world to me. As always, I'm here to help anybody. Chase your dreams, be a rebel, and do it all while being flawless. Love you guys.